Welcome to 1.4 Congruence. First, let's start with a couple of definitions. Similar means same shape. So these two are similar because they're both triangles with the same angle measurements. Equal means the same size, such as 5 yards equaling 15 feet. And then congruent means same size and shape. So two segments are congruent when they have the same length. So these two segments are congruent. They're not equal because they have different letters, but they are the same size, so they're similar, and their measurement is the same. So similar and equal put together creates congruent. So these two segments are congruent. How we would write this, the symbol for congruent is an equal sign with a similar sign above it. So some congruent markings, how we know lines and angles are congruent. One tick mark in between on the side tells us that those two lengths are congruent, those segments are congruent. In order to match, you put 1, so AB matches DE here. The ones with the 2 marking, BC is congruent to EF, and AC is congruent to DF because it has 3 of them. We can do the same thing with angles, except we use arcs instead of the tick marks. Sometimes you could do an arc with the tick marks to also show it. It's just how the different books and stuff use. Okay, a couple of definitions. So midpoint is the point in the center of a segment that bisects the segment and cuts the segment in half. B is the midpoint of AC. So our example here, Q is the midpoint of AR. We have to be able to draw this picture. So AR is our segment, Q is the point directly in the middle, and I know that AQ is 9. So between A and Q I can put 9. Because it cuts the segment in half, I know that QR is also 9. So the whole thing AR is 18 because 9 and 9 make 18. So RQ is 9 centimeters and AR is 18 centimeters. Next definition is bisect. Bisect means to split into two congruent parts. So a segment bisector is something that splits a segment into two congruent segments. So here DE bisects AC. AC is being cut in half. B becomes the midpoint because it is the part where it is bisected. For example, AD bisects BC at N. So BC is the one being cut in half because it comes after the verb bisects. BC is being cut in half at the point N. AD cuts right through it. So BC is being cut in half by AD at the point N. BC, the whole thing, is 7 meters. So the question is, how long is each half? Well, half of 7 is 3.5. So each half is 3.5. Right? That should do it for the congruence. Good luck on the practice.